Hey, welcome everybody. Sportsbook Review. It's Valentine's Day, and we are the PuckHeads, and we're in full force today. Codeine Carter, his ankle's better, so today he's Caffeine Carter. All right, he is wound up like a damn, one of those spinning tops. But in all seriousness, all right, it's Valentine's Day, guys. We got to take care of our sweethearts at home, so make sure you put a little extra on your bet to take her out to dinner. Hey, Dana, with that being said, how's everything out in Las Vegas, and have you done anything special yet for your lovely wife?
Everything is awesome as usual in Las Vegas, and of course, I went out last night with about 50 other guys at Albertsons and got her flowers. And
you're spending the big money.
It's Joe Albertsons supermarket,
listen, there is no way I'm going out and spending $110 on something that dies in 3 days.
Exactly.
That is being irresponsible. That's like betting 10 units on a hockey game.
Yeah, but you know what? Codeine Carter, he pulled it off.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, we're all about giving our viewers the edge and the advantage. Guys, when you buy the roses, do yourself a favor. All right, when you trim them on an angle going down. I'm not kidding. My dad taught me this. And every 2 days you trim them and you change that water and put a little bit of sugar in there, and them damn things will last a hell of a lot longer. So if you're spending $100 and something bucks, at least make the shelf life last a little longer. So
I have my table of one reserved for tonight.
I bet you do. By God,
All right,
holy
anyway.
cow! Well, let's get back into hockey. Like I said, Caffeine Carter's back with us. Last show, I was 1-1. Dana was 1-1, so no damage done. There's a couple games that are really interesting on the slate tonight. I've got one pick, but we'll get started with Dana Lane. Dana, hit us off with your first pick. Yeah, he's going to leave you last.
The first pick today, Mike, is going to be the Buffalo Sabres and the Ottawa Senators under the 5.5. It's a minus $1.45. Now, there are some fives out there if you're so inclined to do that, but we'd rather get the half out of that and lay a little bit more. And keep in mind, if you're playing with house money, you can make these kind of decisions and not have to worry too much if you're laying a little bit more just to get that half a goal. This is a classic case, guys, as hitting the reset button. And we've seen this a lot of times with teams firing coaches and then, coming back with an inspired effort for the next 3 to 4 games. Robin Leonard the other night came out and basically called his teammates out and said, look, we've got to play better hockey. And that's leadership. And I love to see that type of leadership. This is a guy not only that is now going to have to back that up, he's now facing the team that originally drafted him. And Leonard has been extremely good against Ottawa, going 3-0-2 with a goals against average of 1.18 and a save percentage of 96%. So he's going to do his part. And then on the other side of the ice is Craig Anderson, who has everything to be motivated about. And we know that his wife is battling cancer right now. His first outing was fantastic. So you're going to have two motivated goaltenders against two teams that have, especially Buffalo, have trouble putting the puck in the back of the net. So we're going to take the game to go under minus $1.45.
Wow, I like that breakdown. And again, I thrive on emotion and momentum, and that was just loaded with it. And you're absolutely right. There's a guy, Drew Holiday, plays basketball, New Orleans Pelicans. His wife had a situation, had trouble when they were giving birth. Long story short, he came back, and it was a touch-and-go situation, but he was on fire. So that emotion does carry on, no matter what sport it is. So I like that breakdown. 5.5, the under minus 145, Buffalo and Ottawa.
That's a great breakdown. I had the same notes basically to learn. 9.61 save percentage.
Yeah, that's sick. That's unbelievable.
In 5 games.
Exactly.
That's not a one game or something.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's a great pick, guys.
All right, with that being said, Scotty Carter, hit us with your
I got lots of overs today. I got 4 picks today, all overs today.
Okay.
First pick, I know the line's going up right now. I went from 6.
You don't have to show me, just read it.
I went from 6 down. There's some 6.5s out there. I got it at Heritage.
That's 6.5.
Over 6 plus 100. For the over on the Dallas and Winnipeg Jets.
Wow, over 6. That's a big balls play of the day.
There's 6.5s out there actually now too.
And actually, you know what? That Paulie Rizzo, that guy we run into at the casino, he loves hockey. He says anytime he sees a 6 anywhere, he's taking the over. Anytime.
They both have 54 points. Is 24 games left in the season.
Yep, it's
now or never basically.
Sure.
They're both up there in the league for goals against and for most goals against, and they're up in the league for most goals for. It should be a barn burner. I'm looking for a 5-4 type of game in there. I don't see this thing going anywhere near the under.
Well,
it's going to be over by the second.
Today. I like that.
Yeah, 4 units on that one.
Okay, 4 units on that. Okay. Dana, hit us with your second pick.
He's going with the under.
My second pick is also going to be my third as well because I have 2 plays in one game. And this is the fifth game of a 5-game road trip for the Anaheim Ducks, who are 1-3-1 on this trip. And they face a Wild team that has collected 29 points in their last 33 games. Now, we talk about emotion, guys. Bruce Boudreau, believe me, has had every single game against the Ducks circled because obviously, he was the coach of the Anaheim Ducks last season and got dismissed at the end of the year despite a fantastic year. And he is 2-0 so far against the Anaheim Ducks. And the Wild have scored 5 goals or more in 5 of their last 8 games. But we think this is going to be more of a defensive effort. A lot of people are on the over, and we kind of think the opposite of that. So we're still going to ride Boudreau to get the victory against Anaheim. It's a minus $1.45 at Bodog, but we like the under at minus $1.35, under 5.5, which is at Heritage. And I like all these plays for 6.5 units.
Wow. Okay, so that's Anaheim. Is going to be getting Anaheim, the under is 5.5 at minus 135, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and on your side, you're taking, who you taking?
Minnesota
minus that's minus 145, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I like that breakdown. And you know what? I guarantee you Boudreau circled those games. He didn't like the way that ended. It did not end happily. And you know what? I thought he got the raw end of the deal. I thought he had a pretty decent season. So I guarantee you, not only is he telling his team to get fired up, his team is going to get fired up for him. So I think you might have an edge.
Minutes. He's going
He's going crazy. Yeah, he's going Carter style. Yeah.
All right, I'll do my quick last ones here.
All right.
Vancouver and Pittsburgh over 5.5, minus 110.
Over 5.5.
Malkin is coming back tonight. There's a 99% chance he's back after missing 7 games.
Yeah.
Crosby has been kind of, he hasn't got to
I heard Malkin's not a definite, though.
But I heard he's going to play today.
Okay.
He dressed in full gear yesterday and this morning on ice. Crosby's got 998 points.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody that breaks records or gets to a certain plateau always does it against Vancouver. Gretzky broke the goal record.
Of course, who doesn't? You want to win, just play Vancouver, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll take it over 5.5, minus 110 for that game.
Okay, I like that breakdown. Dana, you got 3 plays total, so you're all done. Scotty, you got 4?
One more.
All right, hit us with another one.
Toronto and the Islanders, another over 5.5. I got it. It was 5.5. I got it at Heritage over 6 plus 100.
Over 6 plus 100. You're looking for a high scoring game then.
Yep. Islanders have been averaging take away 1 game against. They lost against the Sens on Saturday. They got shut out. But the other 5 games they've been averaging 4.2 goals per game. Yeah. Toronto's been hardly scoring in the last couple of games. Look for them to come out tonight.
Yeah.
They've dropped down.
And it's a revenge game. So when you got a revenge game, they just played last week, and it was a 6-5 battle. All right?
Exactly.
So I got a feeling this could be another high-scoring game.
Since Dougie Waite has come on as coach, they've sort of gone out of nowhere near the playoff position to 1 point behind. They're 1 point behind.
I like that. I like that.
The Leafs have dropped down to the last wild card now. Before they were pretty safe. Now they're struggling, so I think it's going to be a shootout tonight in that place.
And this ties into my play. I got one pick. I'm going with Toronto minus the 135. They're on a 2-game slide. They got Columbus on the road next, all right, the Blue Jackets. And trust me, they know how important that is, but they know they got to take care of business at home first, all right? And this, again, is a revenge game. Islanders are 7-15 on the road, so they're not a huge road favorite. All right, here's the deal, though. That 6-5 last week presents a revenge factor. That's why I kind of like your over as well. Toronto has to get the win. Islanders want to show them, hey, guys, we had you for a reason, so it could be a shootout. But I'm going to take it minus the 135 on the side with Toronto. You have any input on that, Dana?
Yeah, the thing about it is we worry
he's not sounding too confident, Dennis. Well, I don't think he's jumping in this car with me.
He's got the Islanders. He's got the Islanders and under.
Oh, he's got the Islanders.
No, one of the reasons why we just didn't jump on this is Toronto is made up of a bunch of kids that have not played hockey for this long of the season. And I just want to see, is that going to equate into sloppy play, which could equate into overs, or is this going to equate into a slower pace? So until I can get a read on that, I'm staying away from Toronto, who I love most of the season, but I think that they're kind of hitting a wall right now. So I just want to see what kind of Maple Leaf team that I have before I proceed.
Okay, and that's why I asked you, because earlier in the year you had a really good read on them, so I appreciate that. That goes a long way when you got young guys that their legs are going to start feeling it, and not only that, this is that time in hockey when the teams that are serious and they need to make a move, they do it. So these young kids better find some spring in their step, and they better go find a fountain of youth somewhere, even though they're already young.
Huge game for the playoff potential.
Well, actually, this whole week is really, there's some real big classic matchups because it is crunch time.
We're close to the deadline.
Yes. I know. You throw the trade deadline.
Montreal is going to make some big moves. I think they're going to get Duchesne. I think. Anyway, tons
and
of
you're
stuff
not going to be here Thursday, but Dane,
I'm on assignment again.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Because what we're going to do Thursday, guys, we're going to break down the futures moving forward for the rest of the season. So we're going to do a separate video on top of the show on Thursday. So yeah, get ready for that. That's going to be interesting. All right, viewers, you heard it. Puckheads, we're alive and kicking. Dana Lane is going to melt the ice in Vegas tonight, and Caffeine Carter's going to get it done with his 16 unders for 19 units each. Well, I'm just kidding you there, buddy. And again, I'm going to keep some momentum going with Toronto. I like that play. I think the youth shows up. So guys, do us a favor. Tune in. Tell your friends. Hashtag AskSBR. And don't forget, both of these guys are available at Twitter later on. What do we hit him with?
Canuck Carter, and I'll be making definitely more picks tonight for these games.
Okay, and at Dana Lane Sports, Dana Lane will never stop Twittering. So if you guys do us a favor.
That's for sure.
That's right.
Twitter,
life is too
he's
short
a Twitter
to stop
machine
Twitter.
like you almost.
He is.
Yeah.
We both are. All right, guys, tell a friend.
Mike.
What's that?
Mike, before we go, I just want everybody to don't forget, every single day there's an NHL write-up on SBR. And if you have been following us, right now we're at 57% for the season, over 20 units, and we're 8-3 in the month of February. So get to that write-up every single day.
Thanks for throwing that out, Dana, because I forgot about that, and that is some definite good information. And that's a nice little run you're on. You did the same thing last year, and again, it's all about those units. So, viewers, tune in, grab that edge. This is a free tool, so make sure you tell a friend about it as well. You got to get the hell out of here. All right, we're gone, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks for the box of chocolates, by the way.
You're welcome. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.